Welcome back. A little change of scenery today. We're leaving from Auckland Harley-Davidson, a small group of HOG Auckland Chapter riders. Yeah, we're heading to somewhere in the Auckland region, in the South Auckland, Patumahoe, but rather than going direct, as is the usual method with HOG rides, we're going to be going the long way, and we discovered many roads that a number of us had never been on before, which is one of the delights of travelling in the on HOG organised rides. So let's get on with it, see where we get to. Having a look around, you can see we've gone the usual way that we travel from Auckland Harley-Davidson and Mount Wellington. We've travelled along the Mount Wellington Highway, and we got on the motorway at Princes Street, the Princes Street on-ramp, heading southbound. So we do have a little bit of a trip down the motorway here. Not going to spend too much time on it. We travelled down the motorway south until we got to Papakura off-ramp. Papakura Beach Road is the sign, and we're going to head up towards Karaka. So we'll just do a bit of merging and get on the motorway before we get off it. After getting off the motorway, we turn right, head along Beach Road for a little bit until it turns into HOG Road in Karaka. So what we'd normally do, travelling as a chapter, is we will stop and regroup after a motorway ride to make sure we're all together. You can see the orange bike coming up here, that's the tail end Charlie. Mike, he's just heading up to let the road captain know, yeah, we all got off the motorway together, we're good to go, let's roll. So with that being ascertained, we hit the road again, and we're heading into the heart of Karaka. This particular ride was a fantastic fun. First of all, the weather was great. I should mention this was took place in early this year. This was in February of this year, which is why everything's looking a little bit dry. And we covered a lot of ground, roads that we very seldom see or travel. We had one of our experienced road captains, Nev, leading this ride, and yeah, we saw a lot of places that we don't normally get to see. There was a lot of corner marking. You can see one of the riders left behind here to indicate to the riders following which way to turn at a intersection. We're going right or are we left, just so that even if the line snakes out a little bit, you can't quite see the ride leader, you've still got breadcrumbs scattered around to find your way and keep together as a group. Now, to get an idea of the number of corners that we marked on this particular route, we put the street names up or road names up wherever we change roads here. We're not seeing all of the roads that we were on, but a fair few, so if you had a mind to, you could find these roads on the map and take a ride along these roads yourself if you wanted to do that. But you will notice there are corner markers all over the place, and when I mark a corner myself, coming up as we get into Waiuku, we'll get a rearward view so you can see how many bikes there are in this particular group. There's quite a few. And to give you an idea of how many corner marks were laid, I ended up corner marking twice on this particular ride. So yeah, there was a lot of direction changes over some quite long and windy at times country roads. So it was great fun, good stuff. This particular ride really was a delight because it had quite a number of experienced riders on this particular ride today, but we all agreed afterwards, there was plenty of roads here that many of us had never been on. We've been riding tens of thousands of kilometres, a lot of it throughout the entire Auckland region, north, south, east, west, as far as you can get, all directions, and many of us hadn't quite ever seen, certainly not all of them, but at least one or two of the roads that we were on this particular ride. And that's one of the joys of riding with any HOG chapter, and what I've certainly found riding with HOG Auckland Chapter. I've grown up in Auckland City all my life. I've never seen more of Auckland than I have in the last 6 years or so that I've been in the riding with the hogs. So it's a great way to discover your town, discover your country. I'm sure I've explained it before, but how the corner marking works, at least in the Auckland chapter, is that the ride leader, the road captain, leading that particular ride will indicate to the side of the road when we are having a change of direction, where there's a left-right turn situation ahead, and the rider immediately behind the road captain, the second bike in the queue if you like, will pull over with their indicator on to let the ones following know which way to turn at this particular intersection. They'll wait there until the tail end Charlie comes up behind, pulls in behind them and says, yep, okay, I'm the last one, let's carry on. And then, so they'll then start again from the back until eventually they get recycled up to the front. So in doing so, you can see what I mean when I said before there was a lot of corner marking. So much so that even with a big group of riders, they ended up marking a corner twice on this particular ride. So it's just something you do, you get used to it very quickly, and it helps everybody stay on track, nobody gets lost. So here we are on Waiuku Road, coming up to Waiuku Township itself. You can see Nev, the road leader, is indicating to the left hand side of the road. I'm pulling over with my indicator on, and we'll take a rearward view and see the bikes coming through. I'm not going to count them out loud because that seems silly, but you can see all the bikes coming through, including a trike, amongst the group. And all that's going to happen here is when these guys all get past, I'm waiting for the orange bike that Mike is riding to come up behind me, at which point I know that I'm ready to pull out again. The tail end Charlie will always stay at the absolute rear of the pack, so he's always going to be the last one arriving anywhere. We go. Now we didn't spend too much time heading through Waiuku. We headed up along the peninsula in the general direction of the Manukau Heads lighthouse before then turning around, swinging back, heading back through Glenbrook and Karaka, heading up towards Patumahoe. But in the meantime we discovered again some amazing roads to ride on out here on the peninsula, so let's just take a look at those. Some really nice riding out here. Some fascinating road names out here. I don't quite know where Butcher's Bridge Road came from as a name. Maybe I don't even want to know, but yeah, certainly unforgettable. Anyhow, we're heading down Codlin Road. We're going to head up to Holmes Road soon, and then we take a swing around two roads that many of us had never been on before, including Aka Stream Road, I think it was called. That was really nice, and then it led us to some long straight roads that I hadn't been on before, and yeah, they were. It's just amazing what you can find when you're out riding with people who have checked out a ride, not just Google mapped it, but actually ridden it, and then led a group of riders out there to see where it is, like these roller coaster style roads here. Amazing fun. Who would have ever found this before? Not me. I would have never thought to come here. So yeah. Now we're starting to get a little bit closer to Patumahoe now. From Aka Stream Road we turn onto Masters Road. Again, I don't know where these long straight roads come from. I never was aware of this one before. Fabulous road. It's even big enough that they've got white line painted down the middle, so the road's in really good nick as well. No potholes, at least that we found. From there we kind of switch eventually onto Hill Road, And then on to one that I hadn't heard of before after we'd gone through some interesting little, felt like a driveway, but was actually a piece of road, Eastern Drain Road. I complimented Nev afterwards, said, man, what was this? Never even knew this one existed. Yeah, great riding. Again, everything looks quite dry because, just to remind you again, this was filmed in February of this year, so a couple of months back now. Now, by this stage, it's almost a couple of hours since we left Auckland Harley-Davidson, and we're coming up on TT Road, and this is when I'm having my second and last corner marking situation on this ride, so we get to watch the bikes go past again. We're not terribly far from the destination here, which is the village bar at Patumahoe, so I guess if nothing, well, we've had a great time in this ride. I hope you've enjoyed watching it through as well, but I guess it just goes to highlight you don't need to leave Auckland to really have an amazing ride with so much different terrain, roads, twisting, winding, bush-clad, straight roads, country roads. We're still in the Auckland region right here. It's amazing, and just such a lot of fun riding with all our friends. Behind us you can see the orange bike, Mike, who was tailing Charlie today. It's not always the same person that puts the hand up to be tailing Charlie, don't worry about that. Everybody gets to have a little bit of a turn. We usually share it around amongst the road captains on various routes, so no one has to feel put upon that they're always at the back. And here we are coming up to our final destination, the Village Bar and Grill, so I'm going to leave this to close out now. Hope you've enjoyed the ride. Take care out there, ride safe, have fun, and see you on the next one. Perfect.